How are you building community globally? What resources do you and your company go into to actually foster community and start building around webs in that ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for having me. But a huge focus is really just being there in person and putting in the time and effort every single month to make sure that we are hosting these amazing proof of community events all around the world. And what those are gatherings, say, like we've had a bunch of different ones with our team in India, or you're ramping them up here in New York City, where I'm based, and really tailoring the content to what is most useful for folks in that region, whether it's, hey, spinning up your own node, here's a how-to, versus, hey, do you want to work in Web3? Here's what things to consider if you want to get hired. And it's never a Shardeum pitch as much as there's a lot of great stuff to share there. So I think the number one thing is just like making a concerted effort to be there and interact with the community face to face. And that's what kind of can translate to scaling a community online.
Does that take different teams of people to actually start building out and manage these communities? Being that seems like community managers is now such a niche role, but so important to a lot of the community fostering.
Yeah, it's so important. And I feel like it's one of those areas of Web3 organizations where it's often understaffed. So you'll have the occasional, like, very frazzled, overworked community manager. But that's really a spot where I think you should focus on bringing in talent and hiring. And we have a great, very large team that is focused on community and other aspects of growth. But really, it's the folks that are going to be there every day understanding the
Yeah.
individual communities. And frankly, if you don't have folks based in the area or helping local sort of community managers spin up their own sort of approach to the proof of community or whatever meetup format the project has, you're going to be missing out on a lot. It's not one blanket tactic. It needs to be from different perspectives and different people all working towards something when it comes to your community building.
How do you incentivize people to engage and continue that engagement? What are you offering them that, because there's this social reciprocity. When people contribute, they expect value. It's just like almost human nature in that way. What are you offering for these individuals to actually allow them to continue engaging within your community?
Yeah. So it varies a lot. Like on this kind of slightly more lofty, idealistic view, you want to be like, everything is intrinsically motivated. You want to be part of this like movement towards what we see of this like greater push towards decentralization and good. But when it comes down to it, it can also be we're supplying valuable knowledge when it comes to, like I mentioned earlier, spinning up a node, engaging in Web3, and people see value in that. People see value in it's been even sushi or a glass of wine and some interactions one-on-one, getting out of your apartment, getting out of your house. But I think that another big kind of motivating is tying all of these community engagements into larger scale campaigns that are occasionally incentivized. I've seen some different work, especially before NFTs were super popular. And then we've seen a little bit of a downhill trend that I won't get into. Those special badges so folks can feel like they're actually a part of something that not everyone is engaged with. So I think that it's a combination of all of those different approaches that can really be valuable. But especially when you're working in building out a community in a new market, it is actually trying to get out there and listening first about what folks want to learn and what actually drives them, whether it is a certain aspect of a product that you're building, or if it is the desire to meet with other folks in Web3 because they're missing that sense of camaraderie, or whether it is initially, and you want to convert them down the line, the desire for a free glass of wine or a piece of pizza. And that's something you can still build on. Like you got to start somewhere, especially in new markets that can be tougher to break into.
The Grupo Podcast is about technology and working in a remote world. If you like what we're doing, please like, comment, subscribe, and support us interviewing the leaders of today.